This video is sponsored by Crazy Rick Grimes. Link to the page will be in the description below. Alright, what's going on guys? It is Relentless and welcome back to another video. Today we're going to be continuing the 5 Weeks of Dead series, in which we count down to The Walking Dead Season 6, and we are going to be reviewing this week The Walking Dead Season 2. Season 2 is one of my least favourite seasons of The Walking Dead, but it does contain quite a few of my favourite episodes. To be honest, the season as a whole, it did start off very slow. But aside from the first episode, which was great because it was over an hour long and we just got a lot of awesome stuff going on. A good little bit of action, the whole situation when the walkers were coming on the highway and Rick and the group were hiding under all the cars and all. Basically, it was really badass, and this is when Sophia went missing. This is the whole start of that story arc where Sophia goes missing. Daryl starts to, kind of care about the kid and goes out and looks for her, along with Rick and Glenn and Shane. It was really good, and also when they also reach Herschel's farm, which in the comic they do that by the issue 7, I believe, of the comic, or issue 8. They reach Herschel's farm, and we do get to see the Herschel's farm after the very first episode, because Carl gets shot, just like in the book, by Otis. And Rick has to go with Otis to Herschel's farm. And also Herschel is very different in the season 2 compared to the comic book. I think when we first met him in season 2, he was kind of an asshole, a little bit of an asshole, because he just didn't want Rick on the farm after he sorted out Carl's injuries. But in the comic book, I think he was more of a psychopath in the book. From what I read, because I've read way up to now issue 24, issue 25, and from that moment I met Herschel in the comic book, he was kind of a psychopath. He knew he killed Rick on multiple occasions. The whole situation with the walkers in the barn, that was also his doing too, because he let them out, which was stupid of him. Some major differences from the show and the comic. Sophia is still alive in the comic book as we speak, but in the show she goes missing. Spoiler alert, turns out she's a walker in the barn. Herschel must have found her, puts her in the barn. Carol, whatever you call her, she just breaks down because she sees her daughter walk out of the barn. And also, by the way, that episode was great. That was a great ending to that episode. No, pretty much dead already. Season 2, episode 7. Very good build up to it. Probably one of my favourite characters from the season and that episode was Dale. He was just he was like kind of what Herschel later becomes in the group. Kind of the words of wisdom for Rick, in a way. And that's what Herschel will take that mantle soon after in season 3 and season 4. He just tells Rick, we don't kill the living because, Rick, he does kill people in this season. I think it's the first time he actually kills people in the show. So he kills Tony and David, I think that's their names, in the bar. This is soon after Herschel witnesses the whole massacre of the barn. He goes off, hides in this small town. Rick and Glenn go after him. They find him, and then they tell him they have to come back with him. He can't drink himself to death, so he goes with them. But then they come into contact with this group. They were members of David and Tony's group. They try to kill them. And they get this, they capture this kid Randall because he falls off a roof and puts this big part of a fence through his leg. So they have no choice but to bring him with them back to the farm. And Shane is worried that Rick just made a bad move. He could have just killed him there and there. And if Rick wants to let Randall go, he could go and tell his group where they are and bring them straight to the farm to kill them all. Now, I think Shane knew what he was doing. I don't think Rick knew yet that if you don't kill, you die. And if you don't fight, you die, just like in what Rick said later on. It was a big risk, but surprisingly, nobody came to the farm to hunt them down and look for Randall. So they do end up, Shane does end up killing Randall eventually. That is the episode prior to the season finale, which was called Better Angels. That episode was great. But before we get to that, I'm going to mention some episodes prior to this. 10 Miles Out, which was episode 10, Judge, Jury and Executioner, episode 11. So that episode 10 was a great one because we just got to see the whole conversation with Rick and Shane, and also a big fight broke out between them two. It's because Shane tells Rick that he cannot keep Laurie and Carl safe, because if you didn't know already, Shane wants Laurie and Carl. He wants Rick out of the picture. So it's kind of a love triangle going on here. So Rick and Shane start breaking out in a fight. It was a great fight, and so all of a sudden, wouldn't you know it, walkers come into the vicinity and they almost get swarmed, but Rick just hides and gains the upper hand on the walkers. Shane's trapped in the bus. Surprisingly, Rick does get away, but then they come back for him and to bring him away from the walkers because they're all around him. He's surrounded. So that was a really great episode, and there was a very nice song I played at the end. Why Oak Civilian, I believe, plays at the very end of the episode. It was just really nice to hear for that episode. Nice closure too. And then moving on to the next episode, Judge, Jury and Executioner. I know this episode didn't get really a good rating. I don't know why really, but I really liked it. It was really sad because this was the end of Dale. Yeah, he dies. Very different from the show because he dies way later on down the line. He dies when they come into contact with the hunters at the church with Father Gabriel, if you didn't know already. But this, he dies at the farm, so which is kind of really early. But he does have there is a reason why Dale was killed off. It wasn't in terms of his character. It was in terms that Frank Darabont, who was with The Walking Dead, who worked in The Walking Dead in season 1, he left because of something went on, and then Dale wanted his character written off the show, and that's why Dale was killed off in season 2. So, for all you people wondering why Dale was killed off so early, that's your reason. If you want to read more about it, be sure to search it up on Google. You'll find loads of information there. So them two episodes were really nice for me. I really enjoyed them, especially episode 10, that was great. And then moving on, we got episode 13, Better Angels. Spoiler alert, the death of Shane in this episode. He leads Rick into the woods and kills Randall along with him, before doing that certain thing. But obviously Rick gains the upper hand, because Shane kept pushing him and pushing him and pushing him, and Rick had no other choice but to kill him. I think it was time Shane got what he deserves. He was being a total asshole. He just wanted Laurie, he just wanted Carl, he wanted Rick out of the picture, even though Rick's Laurie's wife and he's Carl's dad. He had to get Shane out of the picture before he does anything worse. Tries to damage the group, tries to kill people, tries to, just be a complete psychopath. So Rick does kill him, and then Carl ends up putting him down because Carl must have followed Rick. Then they see a big herd coming towards them, which this carries over to the season finale, which was an awesome season finale. One of my favourite episodes of The Walking Dead, probably in my top 10 for best episodes so far. We just have a big massive herd, big zombie army coming towards the farm from Atlanta. They end up hearing Carl's gunshot, and they end up coming towards the farm. And it was a whole action sequence for about 20 minutes. It was great. It was great to watch. And we got introduced to Michonne at the very end of the episode. Well, just almost before Rick Tater's speech. We get introduced to Michonne, but that Michonne wasn't played by Danny Guerra, if you didn't know already. That was before she was even cast as Michonne. She saves Andrea from two zombies, I believe, and then that's the end of that type of thing until next season 3. Rick later reveals to the whole group that they are all infected. Yeah, Jenner told them back at the CDC, whatever this virus is, we've all got it, because when we die, we're going to be turned into one of those things. And that was a major cliffhanger, a major shock, a major everything for those who've been following the show for quite a while. Definitely a big shock, and that definitely led into season 3. We did get to see a glimpse of the prison after Rick gives his Rick Tater speech and says this isn't democracy anymore. That was great. It was a great scene. We do get to see a glimpse of the prison in just the camera lifting towards the sky, and we just see the prison in the distance. So we definitely knew then the prison is going to be the next major location for the next season, and that means the governor is on the horizon now because we're at the prison. Cannot wait to see it. And it turns out Yeah, it was a great season, but I'm going to leave that to the next review, guys. This is my review for The Walking Dead Season 2. I'm going to rate this season an 8.5 out of 10. Not my favourite season, but definitely worth a watch if you're a fan of The Walking Dead. If you want to get more, you know, Rick Grimes, more Daryl Dixon, all that badass, you know, fanfare. Be sure to check out Season 2 if you haven't already. But anyways, guys, that's all for today. If you enjoyed the video, please hit that like button, subscribe if you're new, and tell me in the comment section below what you thought of Season 2 of The Walking Dead. Thank you guys so much for watching, and stay tuned for more Walking Dead content coming your way very soon. Until next time, I'll see you later. Take care, and bye for now.